Hello and welcome to the John Rion channel. Rion means language, so let us communicate, as I could no longer sit by and watch this country implode upon itself, with this administration doing everything they can do to cause and crumble the American way of living. As we look at what is coming up, timing is everything. And with this prisoner exchange that they just had and the individuals involved in it, and as we look at this, the U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit is coming up on December 13th through the 15th, 2022. Now, as we look at this prisoner exchange, understand Viktor Bout, the merchant of death, is responsible for many thousands upon thousands of African citizens to be killed and slaughtered. And then we have the U.S. female basketball player, Brittany Griner, that I hope will respect the national anthem now that she's seen what we have traded her with. And this Viktor Bout guy, you got to take a look at how upset the African people and the leaders that are going to be at the U.S. African Leadership Summit, how upset they are going to be because of this trade. We're going to go to 60 Minutes and take a look at just how wicked and evil this Viktor Bout is, and how he shipped weapons of destruction around the world, and starting in Africa is where he got his start. So let's take a listen to that. But first, let's go to the White House briefing we had today, where we could not get an answer from the man from Africa that was trying to ask a question. Now, this was at the end of the press conference at the White House on 12/8/2022. And a reporter is asking about the U.S. African Leadership Summit, which is coming up in about 7 days from today, 12/08/2022. And here is the question that was asked and the answer that was not given.
Can you take a question on the U.S.-Africa Summit? Can you take a question on the U.S.-Africa Summit? Karine, why is it so hard to take a question on the U.S.-Africa Summit when the president is leading 50 African leaders, the biggest gathering of leaders of his administration? Why is it hard for you to give me a question?
It is not hard. I've answered. Would you let me answer the question, or are you going to? Okay.
You don't give us questions.
Okay. I'm trying to answer your question. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Again, I just tried. You wouldn't let me. Go ahead. I just tried, and you would not let me, sir. So your colleague is going to ask a question. Go ahead. No, I literally just tried to answer your question. You shut me down. So now your colleague is going to.
Let me take the question first before
Okay.
you answer.
Thanks, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.
Question on the respect.
So if you search Viktor Bout 60 Minutes, you'll see that a snippet was uploaded 8 hours ago. But if you go and find the original, there was uploaded 4 months ago, but the original was actually uploaded 12 years ago, and it's right here. And so we're going to take a little clip out of this to show you how evil and wicked this guy is, and how the FBI and CIA considered him the most dangerous man in the world.
Viktor Bout, in my eyes, is one of the most dangerous men on the face of the earth.
On the face of the earth.
Without a doubt.
Mike Braun, the former chief of operations for the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, told us Bout first exploded on the scene in war-torn West Africa in the late 1980s. Elevating bloody conflicts from machetes and single-shot rifles to
AK-47s, not by the thousands, but by the tens of thousands.
So he weaponizes civil war in Africa.
He transformed these young adolescent warriors into insidious, mindless, maniacally driven killing machines that operated with assembly line efficiencies.
Now 43, Bout from the Soviet Republic of Tajikistan is a mystery man who reportedly served in the Soviet Air Force and intelligence service. The U.S. has indicted him on 4 terror-related charges, including conspiracy to kill Americans.
What makes him a threat to the United States?
He is a shadow facilitator. He's arming not only designated terrorist groups, insurgent groups, but he's also arming very powerful drug trafficking cartels around the globe.
Taking advantage of Russian military contacts at the highest levels and the collapse of the Soviet Union, federal prosecutors allege Bout essentially became a one-stop shop, offering an unlimited supply of stockpiled Cold War weapons to bad guys around the world, including Charles Taylor of Liberia, who's now on trial for war crimes. According to the U.S. indictment, Bout had a unique selling point when it came to weapons trafficking: a fleet of cargo airplanes capable of transporting weapons and military equipment anytime, anywhere. More than 60 planes in all, his own private air force.
Those Russian aircraft were built like flying dump trucks. He could move this stuff and drop it with pinpoint accuracy to any desert, to any jungle, to any other remote place in the world, right into the hands of what I refer to as the potpourri of global scum.
Now, in closing, I am glad that Brittany Griner is not being held in prison for a very minor crime that she committed in Russia. In America, that would be a misdemeanor, or she just let go with a warning. But Viktor Bout, what we have released onto the world, is very questionable. Let me ask you this. Viktor Bout spent 12 years in an American prison. Do you think Viktor Bout is going to be seeking revenge against America? I don't think he's just going to walk away lightly and say, well, that's just 12 years of my life, I'll just forget about it. We have released a demon upon the world, and they are going to be targeting the United States of America. Seek the truth daily, my friends. The truth will find you seeking.